What is going on, everybody? It's back again here on the Busy Bee Mindset. It's good to see y'all again. I've missed y'all. I really wanted to talk about today about pretty much some things I've been going on through the week, and I think it's very relatable for most people. I would like to say I don't think I'm crazy in thinking that, but I think this past week I really felt defeated. I really felt really weak, really negative. I was in a headspace where I've been noticing some weight gain. I've been noticing that my sales haven't been the absolute best at my job. And I think it took me a long time to realize that, I'm the only one who's responsible for this, yes, but I shouldn't always just be very down on myself when that happens. I should always be looking forward. I should always be looking at the opportunities. And the opportunities that I found here, at least for myself, is to realize that even though I did gain a little bit of weight, even though that my sales aren't where I would like them to be, the world isn't over, the world's not ending, and I'm self-aware enough to know that there are certain habits that I'm doing in my life that are helping me gain the weight that I'm not trying to gain. And so with that self-awareness comes clarity. I'm the only one who controls my life. I'm the only one who controls my decisions, the actions, and what I do, right? I feel like if anybody here has a sales job or has ever had a sales job, sometimes there could be quite a lot of pressure in that kind of environment. And I work at a call center, so to be completely honest, the calls aren't even that bad. Some of these people are super cool, chill. We get paid by the hour as well. But when you have like the pressure of like, oh, you didn't sell, and like now people are on you a little bit, that's when it gets a little stressful. And I think that stress kind of finally got to me, which is why I've been a little bit more lackadaisical on my workout routine, waking up later than normal, and just kind of quitting on myself. And in today's society, the way that we have like so much social media out there, I like to try to fill my algorithms with positivity, with motivation, with people who are fit, with people who are healthy, with people who lead the lifestyle that I would ideally want to lead. Because it's so easy to fall into the rabbit hole of all these other short form entertainment content that keeps pulling up on your feed. And so I always try to, at least if I am going to be on something like Instagram, that I follow the kind of people that I want my life to be a representation of. So at least when I have these times of struggle, and if I go on there, the algorithm doesn't feed me like some BS that doesn't really help me. No, it actually feeds me something that could be motivational or change my mindset shift. I think something that I read sometime this past week, I don't even remember by who, to be honest. Maybe it was like Alex Hormozy or maybe his wife, I don't know. But it had said something like, you didn't have a bad day. It was a hot take. You didn't have a bad day. You had a bad 15 minutes and you indulged in it. And that kind of hit me hard. That hit me extremely real. I feel like, especially in a call center, in a sales job, there's going to be a lot of calls that don't go your way. There's going to be a lot of calls that are actually unproductive before you actually get the calls that actually matter, and like you can actually maximize out of that. And so it can be hard to reset at that job unless you're used to it. And I think I'm finally starting to get used to it. This past week, I really felt like I probably let a string of bad days or a string of bad calls affect my mentality. And so I was a little bit lazy. I was down on myself. I would wake up not really wanting to wake up, wanting to stay in bed. And I feel like it definitely hurt. And when I was just talking about like this algorithm, I see all this positivity, all these other people doing so much better than me, right? I'm comparing myself to these other people. It feels as though like when you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing that you know will help move you forward. I'm the kind of person that gets really down on myself and starts talking down, but I want to change that. And so I'm understanding that I'm a human being. Us humans, we make mistakes. As much as we want to be consistent, sometimes it's hard to be consistent. Sometimes there's outside things that are happening in our life that make it a little bit more difficult. But I still showed up today. That's what I really wanted to get in. Because even though I'm getting over this hump now, probably because my vacation started today and I have 4 days off, let's go. I just needed a mental refresh from work. I'm sure most people can relate to that as well. But even though that I was feeling down on myself, it doesn't mean that I'm quitting. I think that's the biggest thing that I want to bring in this message here. You don't have to quit. You might set yourself a goal. You might set yourself a schedule, and you might feel as though if you're not following that schedule, that you're actually moving behind, you're moving backwards, and it doesn't feel like you're doing anything productive. If you start thinking about that over and over and over, and that's the only thing that you think, then soon enough, your brain is going to start falling back to that negative energy. And that's what I don't want. I've lived through that negative energy so many times in my life at this point that I'm over it. I would rather look on the positive side of things. But it's impossible to be positive 100% of the time. And that's what I want you guys to get out of this message. The people who actually watch my videos, the people who know that what this whole channel is about, you know? Talking to a friend is really as if I was talking to myself. That's what these videos are me talking to myself, trying to remind myself what it is that I want out of life and what's the mentality that I want to live by. I've never been the kind of person to like just record myself or take a bunch of photos of myself and document my life. But as I'm getting older and I'm starting to realize that, you know, eventually I'll have kids. How would I want my kids to view me? How would I want like my kids to watch me grow? Do I want them to see me fail, or do I want them to see me succeed? And maybe even if I don't succeed, do I want them to see me quit chasing my dreams? I think we live in a society right now where the internet is so prevalent and it's so big. And yes, there's millions and millions of people making like hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for doing very little work to our eyes, because chances are they actually did a lot of work on the back end that we don't even realize. We just see the overnight success. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible for us to get into that market as well. To me, this is a hobby right now. I'm hoping it could turn into a career. That would be nice. But that's a long ways from now, and I'm okay with that. People like to say that the best time to start was 10 years ago. But the second best time to start is today. Yeah, I'm a little behind, but we're moving forward. We're getting through this. I'm posting the videos. I'm doing the actions that I know that I need to do that will eventually move me forward. I just know that I can't quit. I won't quit. My mindset may shift from here and now. It may get a little negative throughout the week. And maybe, you know, That's like leaning into the mindset of, oh, just do it when you feel like it. No, I know that sometimes you need to do things when you don't feel like it. That's how you get consistency. That's how you get better. But the main message of this video is to remind you guys that no matter how much consistency you can get, sometimes we falter, and sometimes you break out of the habit. And when you break out of the habit, it's almost easier to stay out of the habit than to go back. But I want to encourage you guys, if you're in something similar as me, where you fell off for a little bit, that doesn't mean that you can't get back on. That doesn't mean that you can't revitalize yourself, remember the reasons why you're doing what you're doing, and move forward with your life. And be proud of yourself. Don't be so hard. I'm so easy to criticize myself and be very hard on myself. But sometimes I just gotta relax and understand that self-awareness is one of the most powerful weapons that you have. And if you're already self-aware of the fact of what you're not doing, cool, stop right there. Don't get angry at yourself anymore. Now readjust, fix what you need to fix, and make a plan to get back on track. Because you can do this. I know you can. I know I can. And that's what I wanted to post this video about today. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry I rambled on for a little bit. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. If you did enjoy the content, please like, subscribe, or maybe even drop a comment and drop a little B symbol. Love to see you guys there. Hasta luego.